Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another walk and talk video where I grab the camera, get away from the desk and talk to you guys about what's going on in the crypto space. Today we are talking Bitcoin. We are going to be talking about what's been going on most recently, my thoughts and opinions on what I think unfolds next. Let's roll that intro and get right down into it. Okay guys, so yesterday we saw Bitcoin options expiring. I think it's around the $14 billion split between a couple of different places. And well, we saw obviously consolidation on the Bitcoin price, right? We saw us moving down quite nicely. We saw Bitcoin's price actually go down into a new lower low on the hourly chart at 41,300, and we are at the point of recording this video still testing that out. So I do expect still further price action to the downside to occur, and I do think we are still going to be, really kind of rinsing out some of those long positions, which, I think is kind of needed in the space to a degree. Now, what happens next is really important. With the Bitcoin spot ETF approvals just around the corner, I am expecting a bit of a surge to the upside, i.e. the price movements to the downside right now creates a little bit of pain for the bulls, and well, those short positions are probably loving it, and they're going to be seeing a few more short positions probably starting to layer themselves in. Now we have that new hourly lower low, but I think Bitcoin is actually going to reverse from here, and we're going to see a significant surge to the upside in anticipation of approvals for the Bitcoin spot ETFs. Now, I am currently in a Bitcoin short position, and I am going to probably look to come out of that position and even potentially go long and then go short at a little bit of a later date, as I do expect the first couple of weeks of January 2024 to be a bit more bullish. So from my personal kind of trading expectations here, I'm probably going to come out of my short now, and I'm probably going to go long on Bitcoin, so reverse that position, and then short Bitcoin from a little bit higher. Now, we do have the ability here for Bitcoin to move somewhere between $48,000 and $52,000. That move to the upside would be hitting major resistance, but also would coincide at around $48,000 on the 786 Fibonacci level. This will be heavy resistance, and we are likely to see rejection from there, in my opinion. And so my opinion, it will be to kind of come out of the short, go long up towards 48k Bitcoin, and then from there I will be looking at going short on BTC again, looking at that $30,000, because I still see everything that's going to happen in January 2024 as a bit of a sell the news event. I think as you followed the video that I put out this morning, I expect the Bitcoin approvals for these spot ETF approvals in January to be a big catalyst for offloading BTC. A lot of people were buying into the hype, the idea of a Bitcoin spot ETF. Who's left and now actually ready to buy Bitcoin on the approval? Very, very few, if any at all. And so we see this time and time again as per this morning's video. And so the expectation will be to short Bitcoin at those levels. Now, don't get me wrong, if enough people short Bitcoin, then we might actually see a surge upwards first, taking out that liquidity before we drop. So I wouldn't rule that out. I always make sure we have really big stop losses for that, but ultimately, yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts and opinions are on BTC and the crypto market. Essentially, we look for a bit of a surge to the upside in the shorter kind of time frames, so kind of around 2 weeks or so of January, maybe even 3. But ultimately from there, I'm still looking at Bitcoin moving down to 30k. Altcoins still looking to kind of correct down quite massively after their recent runs to the upside. And this is the huge opportunity that we need to kind of take advantage of, because I do think this is going to be one of the last opportunities to get in to the market if you're out, or to continue dollar cost averaging before we see a really big, significant surge to the upside. And so I think we're on the cusp of some pretty major movements. Now, obviously, we have the 𝗖𝗢 news event, which I think is going to be the Bitcoin spot ETF stuff at the beginning of the year. I think that will be followed up by a Fed pivot, which historically we've spoken about on the channel as being a big catalyst for moves to the downside when it comes to Bitcoin and obviously the crypto market, based on the correlation with the stock market. And then, of course, you know, after that, once we have those two events that, you know, some people might say are black swans, we'll have the 𝗖𝗢 news event, follow that up by a Fed pivot, which will be nice and low corrections to the downside on Bitcoin and the crypto market. You know, 30K, maybe 20K, really, you know, you have to see how price reacts at some of these levels. And then Bitcoin halving will just basically be, or have the perception of, the bullish news that is required to take the price up higher. We know that a Bitcoin halving event has no actual impact on price because it has no correlation now to the imbalancing of supply and demand. But what it will do is it will allow a lot of people to start talking about Bitcoin, talking about the crypto market once again in a bullish way, because again, it's an easy sell, isn't it? Bitcoin halving event equals bull market, right? And so I think we're still going to see a lot of coincidences or things coinciding together when it comes to you know, that next bullish market. We'll have, you know, a 𝗖𝗢 news event, we'll have a Fed pivot that gets you to corrections for those larger institutional investors to be buying, and then of course we'll see the actual Bitcoin spot ETFs launching, which will be different to actually the approvals. And from there, we'll also see, you know, a Bitcoin halving event. And so much more media coverage, I think, as well, which will basically lead us into that next bullish market. Now, timing this is going to be hard. Is it going to be 2024? Is it going to be 2025? I don't know, but I'm hopeful that it is 2024. I'm going to leave the video there. If you found it useful, smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and I will catch you all in the next one.